Here we go. Thinking Game Podcast. I can't even remember what episode this is, but new episode.
I know we just keep it on trucking.
And what we want to talk about is our mission before we get started. Our mission is we created this podcast for the youth to share our life experiences and give them the advantage on how to think and analyze situations and circumstances coming from the inner city transitioning to success. Pretty much, we're using our life experiences for stuff that we went through and experienced in the corporate world, analyzing situations not based on analytics, but our own experience, stuff we've seen with our own two eyes, you know what I'm saying? Because some stuff the analytics don't talk about, the numbers and percentages and all that. They don't really talk about, but it's stuff that we seen growing up in Southwest and Little Rock that a lot of people that trying to explain that maybe don't know how to break it down, but going from living in the inner city, from trying to be a citizen, a productive citizen, it is a challenge. A lot of things you have to kind of learn and catch on to, but it can be done. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to give game back to our youth, let them know that you can do it. It's just a thinking process that you got to change your mindset.
Yeah, and like he was talking about the analytics and things like that, there's a lot of space between point A and point B.
Yes.
And C and D. And we're just going to take a working man approach to what's going on between point A and point B. Maybe,
Right.
Explain some things or use our point of view on some of those things that can be happening. Because there's a lot of things in between those points that they don't tell you about. You know what I mean?
Right,
And
they don't.
And a lot of people think it's automatic. Oh, well, you just do this, and school is this, and just get a job, this and that. Well, what's going on in between that? And there's a lot of little weird little details, and we're going to share, hey, our experiences with them, and kind of maybe how we handle some things, or maybe even just let you know that these potholes, pitfalls exist, and some of these advantages, some of these resources exist that you didn't really think about. So those are just things we're doing it from. Like I said, we're not rich yet, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
So we're doing it from a working man's approach, a regular person, and sometimes just some of the things that we encountered, I think is very important.
The thing that is important that people to understand, even if you get rich, if you don't know how to maintain it, you're going to be right back broke.
Yeah, budgeting on budgeting on any level, you know what I mean? If you can budget $100 well, you will probably be able to budget $1 million well. You know what I mean? Bad financial habits will put you in a bad financial place.
Bro, I was at gas station last night, come and go, bro. Woman walked in with $100 bill, not buying food, she's buying like lottery tickets, bro.
You know what I mean? It's hope and faith. Let it ride. You know what I mean? Whether it's a thrill or that's her form of investing, that's $100. And if we're gonna say it looked like she needed $100, you know.
Yeah. It's called a pipe dream. Investing in a pipe dream, my friend.
You know what I mean? You gotta take calculated risk. You know what I mean? A lot of people, uneducated, uninformed. Well, the stock market is gambling just like the horse. No, these are calculated risks. These are people who are, get paid to give you the information, things you can study, things you can learn.
Yeah.
Right now, we're just scratching off a piece of paper. Yeah. You know what I mean? Right now,
you don't get a gain off of it. You may win, you may not, but at least with stocks, if you pick the right one, there's going to be a gain at some point, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, whether it's slow or whether it's it's something to it. Or you can see how you lost your money.
Right.
If that company, tanks out or whatever, bottoms out, you'll be able to see that. But right now, when you're investing $100 of your money, you only got a $600 check, and you're investing $100 of that into something where you're just going to scratch off. Yeah, and you might get lucky. And if that's what you want to do for fun and thrill, that can be a part of your recreation budget. But, that thing could still be in part of your investment or savings budget as well. But I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. But, just to observe something like that sometimes blows your mind.
We'll never tell you how to spend your money. It's just the results, man. I hope you get the results that you want. That's all I'm saying. So.
Yeah, I hope you win. Matter of fact, break me off a little bit. Yeah. You can make my dream come true when your dream comes true. Whenever that
Make a Wish Foundation.
Yeah, I know, right? You know what I mean? Hey, I believe in miracles.
So our first topic is we talked about 11th grade year last time. We talked about touch on our senior year. The thing I will ask Mike at 20, or what, the 17, 18, ask Mike at 17, 18, Mike, what were your goals for post-graduation in 2001? Like, what was your goal, like, after high school?
I'm sorry, but my thing is, I was really just trying to get out there and make sure that was actually done. Trying to make sure all of my business was taken care of, and trying to get at least this part finished. You know what I mean? I was definitely not going to count my chickens before they hatched. So that was my, primary focus. Like, when it comes to like, goals, like with high school, like I said, I was really just like trying to finish, get my ducks in a row, get all of that that high school business handled, you know what I mean? And really once you start doing that, and you do it on your own as a high school student, your senior year is very different. It really does actually help you transition to college life and how that's going to be.
Right.
But yeah, like definitely trying to get money, trying to deal with stuff for prom and like I said, stuff like that. And we're like, this is super important stuff at the time. And I was like, prom, like, what was like something? It was just like a dance, you know what I mean, with people that you actually knew, getting your cap and gown and things like that. I wasn't like the top 5, in my class when it comes to like, this dude is about to be valedictorian. I was not in jeopardy of winning that by a million. But, definitely getting some of that stuff together were my goals. So I didn't really have big, major aspirations on, like college like that. I was trying to take care of the thing that was in front of me. I was very short-sighted at that time.
Yeah, and see, that's his story. I'm going to tell you my story. We'll keep it 100% real. Young people, please listen to me. When I was in 12th grade, I had got most of my classes out the way. I only had like one class, maybe 2 or 3 classes that counted that I needed. So my mindset was, I'm pretty much at the finish line, so why am I running full speed for? I can slow down. And that's why they tell you when you run the track, you got to run through the finish line. Yeah. Instead of me, I just slowed down and got comfortable. I was skipping. That's when I got the cardio. I had the 77 Impala then. They all floating all around Southwest. I was skipping school, hanging out, going to the little skip days and stuff like that. I think the only class I needed to pass was English, bro. And I struggled with that. I didn't do the homework in there. Miss Ferguson class, bro.
Oh, man. She was cool. She was going to take care of you, yeah.
Man, my post-graduation, I didn't have no plans for college, man. I think I wanted to be a masseuse, like a massage therapist. Yeah. But then when I seen how much it costs, I was like, I can't afford that. I can't give these people no $8,000 or $10,000 or however much they wanted for school for like money. I can't do that for what? I ain't got no money for that. But I did have a job, so I just get a better job, I guess. I'll figure that out. I didn't even know how to register for college. Didn't even have no idea. I didn't even take the ACT, none of that. Yeah. I just went right to work. I think when I graduated, was I still working at Subway then? I think I was, but I think I ended up leaving and working some other places. But I went through the employee gauntlet after that, until I got started working up there with you at the hospital. But, man, I probably worked at the food places, worked at a car dealership, washing cars, and worked in another place changing tires and putting patches in tires, and then got on at the hospital. But as far as school, wasn't nowhere on my mind. Wasn't even thinking about college. It was like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to go to college right now. Wasn't even changing tires, and like I say, man, most dudes, I'm not gonna say all, I'm gonna say a percentage. How about a percentage of people after they graduate? I know where we was from. Man, they wasn't thinking about college, man.
But see, even when
they have this like grand illusion or delusion where it's like, you go to college, you get married, get a house and a car. Most dudes ain't even thinking about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Get married? What? At 17?
Nah, it's just really like you couldn't wait to be a grown blanking man.
So you find out
you know what I mean? Now, yeah, exactly. So my whole mindset, like definitely the end of high school, you know what I mean, right at the end and finishing up as my senior year is trying to secure the minimum. Trying to get a place, trying to get health insurance on my own because you're not caring about your part. So somewhere to live, a job with benefits, that's the goal.
Right.
Not, the goal wasn't seeing what I'm going to be doing 5 years, 10 years later to get these things, to get like a pension or retirement, job with all these little things because nobody's doing that for you now. Now you're a grown man. You need health insurance. You need these things. So securing the minimum things in life was like a goal or priority to me, like, you know, after high school. So that's why I started working. It was just very short-sighted, and you can get stuck in that cycle that, hey, I got this, and I'm not going to be poor, I'm not going to be homeless, and I'm not going to be a crackhead, but you're also not going to excel or exceed or, you know what I mean, or really have a growth. So you got to look at a mindset like that, because you see, like, well, and that comes from maybe not having a strong support system that says, hey, you don't have to work, you can just go to college. Hey, here's your first car.
Right.
Here's, you know, $20,000 to start your life. Here is, like, whether it's a mentor, counselor, old family friend that's been to college, say, hey, this is something you have. When you, like, immediately have to start supporting yourself, and sometimes it's not even after high school when you start supporting yourself. It's while you're in high school, you're supporting yourself. So you have to always, you don't want to reach too high, because you have to establish your roots, because you will be homeless. And what's the point of what I'm gonna do with a degree if I cannot?
The thing, like after high school was just the people that's around you. Like, you don't have. When we was in high school, right? We didn't have like people come by the school like politicians or lawyers or nothing like that, or people like that. The stuff to see different stuff.
Yeah.
We only saw people that work regular jobs. Like, we didn't even know that existed a job making six figures in high school.
Like,
we didn't even know what six figures was. Like, a job where you making over $100,000 a year.
Yeah, especially
as a job.
Especially back then. I mean, you got to think back then, $60,000, $70,000, you were rich.
Yeah, $50,000. Yeah.
Yeah, you were
50 was the gold standard.
Those were the kids that were dressed a certain way because their parents or even one parent did this. So I mean, you got to think, when you have the mindset where a registered nurse is rich to you, like is top quality rich, like they have a paid off car, or somebody like goes to work and clock in and they drive a Lexus. They're not hustling to drive a Cadillac. Like, that's just what mama got and that's just what daddy got. Having two parents, like, you perceive that as rich. Like, a lawyer was almost like, man, something like a knight or a dragon slayer. Like, because we heard about, exactly. Like, we heard about lawyers. We know what a lawyer is. But those are, you know, rich people on the table. And I'm sorry to even say that, but that's how it's kind of perceived, because you don't really see them. And I thank God for the Boys and Girls Club.
And if we go back, we're going to try to work on this, be able to go back and talk to kids in high school or young men, we would definitely sit them down and say, let's sit down and talk about life after high school, how it's going to really be. Because a lot of times, you get so used to being in high school and the school system, when you go into the real world, it ain't no such thing as behavior documents no more. Long forms. Man, you go to jail, man.
Jail.
Man, you hit somebody in the jaw, that's assault and battery, man. You get 2 years for that, man.
Yeah.
Just saying, I'll shoot you. That's terroristic threatening, man.
Oh, and
you mess around and get time for that.
Oh, bro. And you talking about, you gay or you this or you that, you know what I mean? You subject to get go to jail for a hate crime, or you know what I mean, like be put on some kind of terrible like list or something like that, or be sued for emotional damage or distress or harassment. Could you imagine losing your whole job and being labeled as whatever, a racist or sexist or something like that, or homophobic, because you just got a little bit upset and said something, you popped off at the mouth because can't nobody say nothing to you.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna get them together.
Boy.
And you were just keeping it real, and now you can't even get a job in your field. Like whether now all the little temp agencies now, like that's your job, like you're a temp agency person, that's your experience. Or now all the accounting firms heard about you, and now in that circle, you know, nobody wants to deal with you. No company wants to take you on because they saw something you did on social media and you have that reputation.
Yeah, and the last, before we get off this topic, is what was your inspiration at that time? Who inspired you at that time? I know for me, it was a lot of comedians. Keenan Ivory Wayans, like I said, I was telling on my blog, I mean, Keenan Ivory Wayans, that was my dude, man. They Live in Color, like I say, parodies and stuff. I was real big on that. comedians like Richard Pryor, stuff like that, Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Yeah, those. And I was always in the comedy, always in the comedy. I can't even remember when I wasn't in the comedy. I was always in the comedy. It always had my attention. And but I know a lot of other dudes, man, just interesting. Like Gwen McClellan dudes inspired. Like say a lot of rap, music, different rappers and actors. Like I know what was hitting at that time, 12th grade. Major League, that was 11th grade, wasn't it? Yeah, that was 11th
really
grade.
Feel like 11.
Yeah, that was 10th, 11th, something like that. Yeah. I'm trying to think who was popping at that time in 12th grade. Was that?
Like, can I just?
That wasn't Dipset, was it? Nah.
Like what would we be listening to riding around the car?
I know I was listening to a lot of stuff like A-Ball, MJG. That was like a
course.
balanced approach. A-Ball, I was listening to R&B and rap. It wasn't just all rap. You know what I'm saying? Because all rap, man, it will mess you up. People think like, I'm strong, man. Rap ain't gonna fake me. It will, man. And it'll happen just like that before you can catch yourself. Now, can you imagine listening to Spice One, rolling with my strap, and you mad, and you got the strap, and next thing you know, somebody pop up at the mouth, and you got that thing right there, rolling with the strap, and you got caught for that 15-second reaction.
Yeah,
man, could have cost you, man, boy. 30 years, 15 years in the pen, dog.
I have a friend that works in the local ER. Like, I don't know what today is, but like at least 8 or 9 people get shot.
Wow.
Like last night.
Wow.
I don't even know if this stuff was on the news.
Wow.
Like, you know what I mean? But, you know, he works there. It's like, man, that's it's just kind of crazy. And it's just a day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just those little, I know we're not talking about that, but like you listen to this music in a split second, you know what I mean? They're all prone, don't fight, you know what I mean? If you fight somebody, you can fight them again tomorrow. You know, he can go back and talk to his family. But now we talking about shooting. Nobody can take a loss or be embarrassed, you know what I mean? So that's another thing too. We're always talking about growth and inspiration, you know what I mean? Like some of us just really want to live, and I understand that's foreign, that's weird, but people like we're dying. We had thinking about it now, we know we have friends who didn't make it out of high school. No. And that's supposed to be like almost guaranteed for a kid to, you know, if you got the grades to get out of high school. So, maybe I had lack of inspiration, you know what I mean? I definitely enjoyed a lot of things, but
we enjoyed
wanted to love comedy, like you said, but like, man, sometimes, man, just trying to live over something you can say, or like you're influenced by the music, or somebody else is influenced by the music, you know what I mean? Or they got to be tough, they can't take a loss, you know what I mean? And you can be just not here. Like we have so many people that are just not here, you know what I mean? You're talking about trying to get an education and things like that. Nothing is guaranteed.
No, that's true.
So that's why you should really try hard, you know what I mean? You should go to college, take a chance, fail some classes, you know what I mean? Just get in there, prepare yourself, and try.
Man,
because you could be not here.
Before we move to this next topic, my experience in college is this is my experience. If you just try, you just make an effort. A lot of times, if you fail in college, it's really on you. Because, man, I've had some teachers that are like, man, I can't. Teacher probably couldn't stand me. I couldn't stand them. As long as I did the work, everything was cool though, copacetic, man. Especially before I really got into IT, everything was copacetic, like in Pulaski Tech. But some teachers, I know they probably couldn't stand me, I probably couldn't stand them, but if you do the work, you probably gonna pass that class because you got the work done. It's not based on if they like you or not, because
you'll probably never see, like a lot of times, you know, unless you're in your major, you'll never see those base level teachers again.
No.
You know what I mean? Some of them are cool. Some of them have a reputation. My class is gonna be hard to pass, and some courses, some areas of studies are just a little bit harder.
Yeah.
But what he's saying is, this is one of those things that you don't necessarily. Your hard work can overcompensate for your lack of intelligence.
Right.
So just if you're not really smart and stuff don't come easy, you just try to work hard. Just keep hitting the hammer, you know, on those rocks and breaking them up one step at a time.
You know, you'll learn how to develop a relationship with the teacher if they allow it. You learn how to develop a relationship so they can know what's going on with you. You know what I'm saying? Some teachers, they understand that you're an adult going back to school and you're trying to make it happen. And you may not be like the younger people, you know, real snappy and turn in your homework on time, but they may give you a little grace, but you have to establish the relationship with that teacher and say, hey man, I'm 38 years old, man. I got 2 kids and a wife, bro. You can't expect me to do this in like 2 days. It's not gonna happen. I could try, but I'm telling you, it's probably not gonna happen. I may have half of it done, but 100% in 2 days.
Yeah, my stuff might be a little bit rough over the edge. You know what I mean?
Like I was in my art class, and he was saying you can use ink, and I was like, nah, this is not gonna happen, bro. I can't use ink at home, bro. This is not gonna happen. I can use a Sharpie if it's what you want to use. That may work, but I can't use ink though. So,
but that's another thing too. He mentioned something about developing relationships with teachers. That's a part of the college skill set.
Boy,
because they give you all this free reign.
Yeah.
Your teacher is now in high school. You're not equal to your teacher.
Heck no.
You're not, kind of, you're almost like not even a person. You know what I mean? It's almost like a zoo, and you're an animal, and they're human, and they have to wrangle you, and you have to do what they say. But most of the time in college, some teachers want to do you like that, but there's an adult, you're an adult. You can talk to them. Yeah. You can email them, like ask them what's going on, say, hey, can this and that. They're people.
Right.
And it depends on you, what kind of relationships you can develop with somebody you just met, your charisma. These skills being developed, that you're meeting new adult people every semester, like 4 to 6 new people. How you're going to be able to talk to them, kind of maybe show them who you are or get them to understand where you're coming from, is a skill that you learn in college. Right. That's why some people are good with bosses. That's why some people are good with their employees under them, because that's something they developed semester for 4 to 6 years.
Right.
So every semester we got 4 new teachers, 6 new teachers, and they're emailing them, they're talking to them, they're responding to their emails, they're talking to their teacher. Some people don't talk to their teachers or send an email the whole class. I've done that before. Because I know, you know what I'm doing in this class? Boom, just get my test, send my study guide, read my little syllabus, done. But the other teachers, you're communicating with them all the time. Hey, what about these lab hours? What's your office hours? Because you need this, and they're here for you. A lot of teachers don't have sympathy for you when you're failing the class. You never reached out for them. They got their cell phone number. You got their cell phone. You're paying them. Like, you done probably paid $2,000 to $5,000 to sit in this classroom. They gave you their cell phone number, their office number, their email, specific times where they can meet them. You didn't do anything with that. Now the last week class you're asking for help, they're not going to be sympathetic for you. So you gotta really vibe with your teachers. Now I know we're doing COVID right now, so it's maybe not as much face to face. But honestly, man, if you some people are some hustlers, they got just as big of a mouthpiece as they got to work. So they're talking to the teachers, this and that. And some teachers I feel like you understand what I'm doing. Right. So I'm going to be a little bit lenient on his work. You know what I mean? Because of this and that. And it's like, they're people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So those are just skills that you learn in college. So that's why, and those are those little skills that ain't on the course load, ain't on the curriculum. But those are things that you actually develop. And I honestly believe that, because you're dealing with so many personalities. You got to realize, man, if a kid coming out of high school, you haven't met that many adults that's not your family or friends.
Right.
And honestly, your teachers are not your friends. They're not even adults to you, because you're not an adult to them.
Right, exactly.
You might as well be a dog or a cat. You know what I mean? Because they're just training you versus teaching you. So that's going to expose you to different people with different backgrounds of different ages and different sexes and nationalities and things like that, and dealing with them and being able to come to a complete stranger who's kind of over you and ask them for help and be able to effectively communicate with them is a skill that you actually do learn in college. I just wanted to say that's one of those things from point A to point B that's in the middle that people don't really tell you about, because you have been taught for 12 years not to talk back to the teachers, and asking them for help or giving them excuses are just excuses. They're not. They're going to talk to you. They're going to listen. So I just wanted to just kind of maybe just hone in on that.
And a lot of this stuff, we working on a studio right now, trying to get a studio together so we can try to have like a whiteboard in there so we can draw some of this stuff out so you can see, because some of it is hard to visualize. I know I'm more visual. He probably visual too. I can see what I'm telling you. I can see it. I can visualize it in dots form, but you might not see that. So we working on it right now, but man, we ain't rich, man. We got to do a little bit at a time, man. You know what I'm saying? But we getting there, though. We actually getting there. We real close to getting there. realizing stuff after you get out of high school. This happens a lot. When you get out of high school, you get to work. You're like, wait a minute, this adult thing kind of crazy, man.
Yeah, these bills come every month.
Yeah, man.
30,000 ain't what I thought it was.
Boy, exactly.
$15 an hour don't feel like that much.
So our first subtype of that realizing after high school was the corporate world. And when you go into the corporate world, you see it on TV. You hear people talk about it, like older people talk about it. But when you get there and see it for yourself, you're like, man, this stuff is actually kind of true what they're making on TV. And stereotypes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The goods and bads of stereotypes. So like,
and then that's not just good and bad. You're talking about weirdo people that's just a little weird, a little bit quirky. A little bit
like you look like the stereotypical,
Yeah.
You got the little glasses, you got the little thing, you
Yeah.
act weird. I mean, not weird, but I'm sorry to call these people.
Yeah, just like you're not just black, you tall and black.
Yeah.
So now everybody, when you happy,
Oh, you
everybody
got
cool.
guess what? You got the deep voice
If
and
you,
everything.
if you had a bad day, you kind of mad. Everybody kind of on easy. Like, oh,
Watch out, that's
watch out for him. What's going on with this guy?
That's Michael. No, that's Mike.
Yeah.
He's not Michael anymore. He's call him Big Mike.
He's the macho man now. Oh yeah, the macho man. Another stereotype is this happened at a job before. This is older though. This ain't nowhere current where I'm working now. This is years ago. Let's say meeting room, the meetings at, right? Employee meeting room. Mostly black. Let's say out of 10 people in there, probably 8 or 9 of them probably black. The manager say, hey guys, what you want for lunch? They said, just get us something. Don't worry, just get us something. He said, I got you lunch. And he coming in with Popeye's chicken. He coming in with Popeye's chicken, man. And everybody like, man, what in the world? But you asked, you should have told him what you wanted though. Yeah. And man, every time I started working in IT at this little small place, and they just asked, what you want for lunch? They said, we're going to Buffalo Grill, what you want for lunch? Oh, I'll take the steak. They say, what? Yeah, I'll take the steak. Yeah, you paying for it? The company paying. And the other home was like, man, you want a steak? Dude, they paying for it. Why not? They ask you what you want.
Yeah.
If that only they can do is tell me no, that's the worst they can tell me.
Yeah.
And they go get it. They can bring me a steak back. One time they brought me a steak back. They had a plastic knife and a fork. Did it no problem. Cut that joke up with that plastic knife. Ate that steak no problem. But sometimes you gotta be careful not to set yourself up for a stereotype.
What?
Sometimes people do stuff to mess with you.
Yep.
We
got watermelon in there.
Yeah.
Hey, tell Mike. Go make sure you tell him.
Oh man.
Yeah, you better get the watermelon before Mike comes in.
Those stereotypes are crazy. Oh, you wear a suit. You wear something nice to work. Hey man, you got an interview? I just want to dress nice. You got an interview today, buddy?
You got Bible study after work?
Oh man, that's funny, man. Another one is favoritism. It's showing favoritism of picks or something like that.
Yeah,
it happens a lot.
And understanding the hiring process and things like that. That they've you not to be discouraged when you go in for an interview because of favoritism or the politics of it. Mm-hmm. That they already had somebody hired before you even took your interview. Even that's going on in the NFL right now, right?
Rooney Rule, right there.
Yeah,
they got Brian Flores suing the NFL.
They've had you're coming in to apply. I mean to interview for a job, but they've already selected the person, told them they was hired, but they got 4 more people to interview already. You know what I mean? So you got to fly somewhere to do this interview, and you're excited. You know what I mean? And they've already hired, and other people know outside of the organization of those things, and that's just a favoritism thing. We've got our guy picked out. You know what I mean? And not to kind of take some of that stuff personal.
And that's why our young people in Little Rock, young people, you cannot get down on rejection if you don't get the job. A lot of times, you will go to these interviews, and it's just because they got to interview somebody for diversity reasons.
Yeah.
I've been there.
And sometimes they make you feel really encouraged.
I know I'm not getting this job. I know for a fact I ain't getting this job. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna entertain myself in this interview, though.
Oh, I'm gonna do
You
that.
think you gonna
every
get
time.
me? No. I'm gonna mess with you too.
But then, like some of them,
you ain't gonna forget you interviewed
and
me.
exactly, sometimes they remember you, or they might see you out in the real world, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, man, you was real good for the job. We already had somebody hired. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I went to an interview one time, bro. It was
We had a good time. They like me, but
It was called something the Baru or something. It's over there behind the state capitol. It was an IT job over there, bro. These dudes, when I walked in there to the interview, I had on my khakis and button down and my white shoes. You know, I be wearing the white shoes, the white Oxford shoes or whatever, bro. These dudes had on the Italian. It's like some stuff you get from Mr. Wicks or something, bro. 300 count Italian cotton shirt with the wool blend pants. They had on the turtle shell glasses. Man, these dudes was clean. I was like, I know I ain't getting this job. I don't even got the lifestyle to work here, man. I'm just here interviewing with these dudes, man. And but man, and it just showed me something too. Is
I got
people
the
thinking
Iceman
about
suit
the
on.
lifestyle, right? Is when you getting paid that much money, man, you have to invest in yourself. You can't just wear, you know what I'm saying, like us wearing Echo shirts and jeans. When we was younger, we didn't invest in
Man, they got
suits
this
and
South
stuff.
Pole shirt,
Then
man.
you go to these interviews.
It's a polyester blend. Don't be
Yeah,
hating.
you go to the interview with the Walmart. What's the name of that the George button down, man?
Man, those are nice, man. That look just
Man,
like that
these
look
dudes-
like Egyptian cotton, bro. They can't tell the
The
difference.
texture different, man. It's like a weird kind of cotton. They like this smooth Egyptian. And they can
It's a
spot it, they can
polyester. It's a
tell.
polyester blend, bro.
And they can tell when you walk in, they're like, oh, man, this dude got this Mickey
But
Mouse shirt on.
I'm coming in here to get the money. I ain't got it.
That's
yet.
the weird part about the weird
You
part,
gotta
too,
you gotta
yeah.
look like you already got it. And you don't
Right.
need it.
And then you think about that in the NFL, like they be talking about that, dude. This happens all the time in the corporate world, bro.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta
All
like.
the time. They ain't no ruin the corporate world. They don't want to hire. They ain't gonna hire you. They'll bring you in there. I went to another interview one time at a car dealership, and no lie, bro, dude was interviewing me, and his son came. He was interviewing me, and he said, "All right, son, I see you at dinner. Why are you interviewing me?" And it's like, why would you want somebody to work there, and your son is working here? I mean, how does that work?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Before we move to the next topic, the last thing was the stereotypes, right?
Yeah.
Because we tall. I was working at this one place. This Asian dude walked by and said, "Man, if I was your height, man, I'd be playing basketball, man." Now, if I was
He can say that.
yeah, he can say that.
He can say that,
But
but
if I was Asian, if I was Asian, I'd be cooking fried rice at the restaurant, man. But that's wrong, though,
yeah,
right? You know what I'm saying?
this guy.
But he can tell me he can play basketball.
Oh
you know
yeah,
what
with
I'm
the
saying?
Asian hate laws that they just recently
Boy.
passed, you probably
Boy.
would have been at Fed time.
Yeah, exactly. So
They
yeah,
gonna
man,
find
them
a way. In the,
stereotypes crazy. You have to have a sense of humor. If you don't, them stereotypes will get under your skin quick. They'll tear you up, man. You
Yeah.
got to have the endurance, man, to get to a higher level in the corporate world. You got to have the endurance to take it. If you can't, they'll eat you alive, man.
because it's people are so used to it, it's ingrained to make. It's like some unacceptable jokes are acceptable for black people, and then as a man, sometimes you really can't complain about like harassment or Jeff's making me feel uncomfortable with all these watermelon jokes, and and he got this new rap song he wants to tell me that he listened to every time he comes to work. Oh man, did you hear that new Ice Cube? Man, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yo Gotti, it's your boy. You know what I mean? It's like I don't listen to every mixtape that drop. You know what I mean? And
exactly.
you got to come in here, you got to discuss mixtapes with me.
But if I come in there talking about Garth Brooks and the thunder roll and the lightning strikes,
What?
and I'm being mean, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't listen to that, man. Not all of us from Arkansas are country, so it's just certain things you can do. And then, I mean, as a man, there's certain things that you can't say or can't do to people, but it's also things you just can't report.
Yeah.
You just got to take that on. You just got to take that on the chin. You know what I mean? Or, come back with a joke. But like I said, sometimes when you come back a little too tough, you know what I mean?
You gotta pick your battles, yeah.
Ugh.
Got to pick your battle. And that's the next topic. We're talking about picking your battles. Politics. Not CNN politics, not Fox. We talking about politics in the corporate world on your job. Now, when we was younger, I didn't understand that at all. Matter of fact, they used to tell me, boy, you ain't got no filter, you ain't got no sense. Boy, you better learn about them politics, boy. They gonna eat you alive. I didn't get it when I was 17, probably to about, 25?
Yeah.
I don't care about politics, man. Keep it real, man. I don't care about no politics.
When keeping it real
Boy,
goes
I
wrong.
used to eat my lunch with that stuff, man.
Because some people, you know what I mean, you defend yourself and then you put a little extra so they know not to really come at you like
Right.
that. But then there's just certain people that you have to defend yourself in an extremely professional way.
Right.
And sometimes you make them feel like they won because who they are, who they know, who their daddy is,
Right.
and stuff like that, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Because they might not say nothing over email or nothing official. You might not have a warning, might not have an occurrence or a strike against you or a strike. But over lunch, they talking about, I don't like that guy. He's got a smart mouth. And that's all it takes for you not to move up or move like that. Now a whole department doesn't like you and you haven't even met these people.
And then, it was crazy when somebody lose their job. It's like, what happened, man? Oh, it was politics. Politics got him, man. You couldn't handle the politics, man.
What?
Some people are powerful, and they may not be the highest person on the job. They may be the manager of a department, but they may have more juice or more power.
Because they know more people.
Than the CEO,
or sometimes the assistant, they got a pulse on the rumors. They got a pulse.
Oh, yeah.
Because they know somebody in HR.
The CEO secretary, any job, the CEO secretary, that's the person you don't want to mess with. Or the director, secretary, or assistant, they call them assistants.
Because they're next to.
Mess with them.
Because they're next to everybody.
You make their life hard,
They're next to the low-level workers, but they're also next to the boss. They're not a boss. Right. They're not in upper management, but they're right next to them. They know them by a first-name basis, but they also know the mail clerk by a first-name basis. Yep. You know what I mean? It's just a very weird little thing. You know
they
what I mean?
ask you stuff. That's another thing about politics. They know you're not supposed to do it, but they'll ask you anyway because you're going to tell them no. It's like telling Mike Tyson, Iron Mike, when he was younger, you going to tell him he wrong? You get your life punched out?
Yeah,
and
so you got to be able to use your
CEO.
communication skills and your words. You know what I mean?
The CEO tell you to come in here and do something for him. I don't know if that's ethical. you know what's going to be ethical when you lose your job?
And I don't even have to say it like that. No. So my thing is learning how to say no in a way that's very indirect or very confused. I can say no to what you requested of me and have you confused on what it is that I'm doing.
Here's the thing about politics, though. You might not lose your job right away. Something may come up. So here's the thing about politics.
They can just start the ball rolling on your downfall.
You can get on the CEO good side and something come up, or you make a mistake and they'll say, "No, leave him alone. That's my guy."
Yeah.
But check this out. It was a guy worked in graphics. And the company worked at graphics. High-ranking person said, "Hey man, I need you to help me write this book." Hey, no, I can't help you do that. That's not right. That's a conflict of interest. I can't help you do that. And he went and talked to his manager. And they said, "No, you can't do that." And guess what? He ended up. When it was time, when they came around to his department, the Grim Reaper came around. And it's time to lay people off. Guess who got laid off?
First on the chopping block.
It took years for it though. It didn't happen right away. It took years for it.
You just don't have that cushion, and you don't have the benefit of the doubt. You don't want to lose that. You want to lose a layer of protection. You rather be neutral than it's like a credit thing.
Yeah, he wasn't black.
Yeah.
This was on the other side of the game, other side of the fence. Yeah. But yeah, what we telling you young people is the politics, man. Learn the politics of the job when you get in there. Learn how things go. Be objective about it. Don't be frustrating. Don't be emotional. Don't be subjective about it. You got to be objective about it if you want to win. The thing about chess is you got to learn the rules, how to play chess, and what moves can make. Because some pieces can't make every move. You got to understand how to move on the chessboard. So our next topic is realizing after high school is the environment and the culture that you're in. A lot of times, if you don't work or you don't get outside the Southwest, the culture seems just fine. Yeah. It seems totally fine. Nothing's.
You can be normalized. Yeah. You can be normalized to incredibly, really violent stuff. You know what I mean? Violent. But we're not even talking about just violence. We're just talking about work ethic.
Even about personal finance.
Oh yeah.
A lot of times people think rich people is flossy. They really not.
They are really not.
Man, you could ride through the heights and they got Toyota Land Cruiser from like the 93 Toyota Land Cruiser in his yard. He ain't got the newest Land Cruiser, man. He good.
I mean, have you ever seen like $1,000 pair of khakis that look old?
Yeah, exactly. They still shopping at. They still go to the marketplace to get their clothes, man. We trying to rush up the
You see them in Steinmark. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's the thing. You start realizing that, man, the culture different. Like stuff we more into spending our money on, they don't even care about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's weird. It's cultures and subcultures.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's say like it's a culture of Little Rock, but then there's also subcultures in each actual environment, neighborhood, and things like that.
Yeah, it's just,
and like, well, we have these rich or wealthy people, and you also have rich and wealthy, flashy people as well. So we're not saying that they don't exist, but we're having to be we're making $millions and we just don't dress a certain type of way.
But they understand money though. They understand how money works instead of just blowing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's really a mindset. That's the thing. Like culture is the mindset that's in that culture. Like you know, what I say most times, growing in the city, you get out of school, most dudes ain't thinking about selling down. You know what I'm saying? I know I didn't think about selling down. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even nowhere on my mind. Like I say, we don't even think six figures exist. We didn't even understand what that was.
Yeah, and people,
17, you know
people separate emotion and finances and stuff like that. Actually, having the wrong woman, wrong man in your life, romantically, can affect your growth.
That's true.
Affect your education. Also affect you financially. You know, once you start trying to say, hey, I make this much money and I want to make these type of things, but now you love this person, you want to take care of them, and you adapt their culture because you have to love them in their love language. Theirs might be gift giving, and they see you with $30,000 in the bank. You know you're not rich. You know that's not enough money to where I'm trying to go, what I'm trying to have. Well, if you got this much money in the bank and you can't buy me a $5,000 purse, well, you know, $5,000 out for 30 is a significant percentage of,
especially
of 30. You know, exactly.
Yeah.
And we're not making that kind of money. We just have that type of money. But now you're in a situation like this, and then depression, heartache, and stuff like that will affect your money. You know what I mean? Chasing women or chasing men. Well, I ain't gonna fall in love. I ain't gonna get nobody. Well, being a player, entertaining multiple women entertaining multiple men. Can be costly as well because that's your entertainment budget is higher. Traveling when you don't necessarily have that money yet because you want to live your best life could stop you from getting to your goals. There's just so many all of it. Your personal life and your professional life and your growth are all intertwined. You know what I mean? So like settling down with the right person could help you grow financially and keep you motivated to go to school. But it could be also a huge distraction trying to build a family while you're trying to build yourself to get where you need to be. All of these things are very important and they're necessities depending on what you need. Some people can't focus until their home or emotional life is taken care of first. They need to have peace. They need a companion. Boom. Some people can't even think about emotion, sex, dating, traveling until they get their business taken care of. You have to find out what kind of person you are and what's important to you. You can't follow my thing where I got myself together, then I found somebody. But you need somebody because it's hard for you to study when you're lonely. You know what I mean? This and that. And also, paying for, extra services and things like that, trying to be a player, dealing with strippers where you have to pay this kind of money, you can start to lose as much assets as you have as being married.
I think I just want, if people come and let us know, man, we could do a whole podcast. I'll be talking about why it's important not to get caught up in chasing women or women chasing men. And the effects of you do that for a long time, the after effects of trying to come out of that world. I don't want to spend a whole lot of because it's a lot, man. It's not a 5-minute conversation. It has to be accountability. You have to be accountable. It's a lot of things you have to be. And if you don't want to be that, you're going to get sucked in the vortex and chewed up and spit out. And matter of fact, let us know what you think in the comments. We can make an episode and talk to you about that, the ups and downs, without all the crazy stuff that people talking about on the internet. We're trying to go, we ain't trying to do like Kevin Samuels and nothing like that, but it's as far as our perspective about doing that and then trying to transition out of it, trying to settle down because you've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
It's like you've been a wolf, but now you're trying to settle down now
you're trying to be a sheepdog. You're trying to protect the things you used to eat. You know what I mean?
It don't work like that,
food looks like food. I mean, regardless. So now you're trying to say, I love a chicken wing.
And then I think too is when you think about the culture is see, this is stuff that they don't talk about in the analytics right here. This is stuff that the numbers don't capture. When you're in an area where it's a majority of single parents, kids that a bunch of boys hanging around each other with no father, just a single mother. What good is gonna come out of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Like when I got a bad idea, and you like, man, it's great.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah, man, dude, I don't see nothing wrong with that. Like, let's do that. So now you have 5 people.
Especially us being parents now, a single parent can only cover so much. You can't even with 2 parents, you can't cover everything. But with a single parent, you really can't cover. I mean, you can make cover the front, but you can't cover the rear. You might cover the rear, but you can't cover the front.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're the LeBron James of single parenting, you're still one person.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But see, regular kids, every kid ain't LeBron James got that kind of talent.
I'm not even talking about, I'm talking about as a parent, you're the best parent. Yeah.
Every kid don't have that LeBron James kind of talent. Every kid not going to the NBA. But there are a lot of kids growing up in single family homes, like a single mom or single dad homes. And man, it's hard. We talking from a kid perspective growing up in there. We're not talking about some a Disney fairy tale we saw on TV or Netflix. We're talking about real life.
It feels weird not knowing what that lack is when you don't know what you're lacking. Like, but then you grow up and like, oh wow, mama really didn't have nobody else to lean on. If mama needed like $200, she couldn't go ask nobody for that. You know what I mean? Or I noticed like mama had to like call somebody, or my uncle Terry. My uncle Terry would come over if something would break. Like we'd have to, and then we would have to wait for him to settle his family.
Right.
Why did it take my uncle like 2 weeks to come over here to fix the washer? Because he has his own family to deal with. You know what I mean, and things like that. But going back to like a little point I was making, people living your best life and having this freedom. Whatever side you're on, whether you're on the committed relationship side or whether you're on the player side or whatever, you have to have discipline or your life will be in shambles. Whether you're chasing women or whether you just got one woman, whether you're chasing men or you just got one man, it's going to take discipline and boundaries and stuff like that, because it ain't the situation, it's you. It's your discipline in either one of those situations, because there's pros and cons in each one, and you have to maintain discipline, because you can spend all your money chasing a bunch of different women. Guess what? You can lose all your money trying to please just one. So you're still going to have discipline despite whichever situation that you're in. There's no way around having a plan and having discipline and setting boundaries for yourself, whether emotional or financial.
But if you want to be, I don't know, this is my opinion from my experience.
Because there's no like 100% freedom.
When you're chasing women, you're not focusing on your success or your finances. If you're doing it at a high level, you're working to get what you need to get to maintain, but in order to get to from seeing millionaires and stuff, most of them are married to settle down. You know what I'm saying?
This is one of those things that we're going to disagree on, because the numbers are, they say one thing, like they're married. Like you say, most millionaires are married and things like this. Whatever you do, it just takes discipline and to not whatever it is, whether it's overspending or overspending your time or your energy or your effort. Like you say, it's hard to focus when you're chasing all these women. But some people say that's my entertainment. You go to the movies, or you go see some artwork. But I have 10% of my time dedicated to this. I have 10% of my income dedicated to, whether it's women, just like you like to smoke cigars, or you like to landscape, or you like to do whatever it is that you like to do, whether it's martial arts or something like that. This is for that. Whenever you start to mismanage your time, money, energy, effort on anything, whether it's your wife or whether it's multiple women, whether it's your husband or it's multiple men, you have to maintain, or whether it's overeating. How many times you've seen like somebody's a millionaire and they die of heart thing. You're going to need discipline and hard work regardless to what it is.
What?
And you have to feed some of your vices to some extent. You can't be over, you know what I mean? Things like that.
Well, we disagree because
Yeah, I mean, of course.
You think about how much time you invest because you'll say I'm gonna start out at 10%, but when you start, it's like NFL. You know, you start scoring touchdowns, you're gonna want the ball more. You're gonna want to do more.
Hey,
and what I'm saying is, you don't. What I had to realize in my head is, what am I gonna profit? Investing time in this? How is it profiting me doing this?
There's no profiting in a vacation.
You said what?
There's no profit in taking a vacation.
Why do it then?
Exactly. There's no profit in walking on the beach or spending quality time with your kids and your family.
But guess what though? Going on vacation won't give you a headache,
it will. Now I can agree with that, but like you said, some of these things don't have the profit or the effect of other things. Like we can see sometimes money when we're going to make a profit in that, or we can see the growth, or we can see the benefit of it.
Right.
Sometimes they're just like that, like this bad habit or that vice, whether it's a video game or whether it's a romance novel. You're going to take your time out to read that with no benefit. But if that's what you need for therapy, or that's going to help you unwind, or that's your vice, nobody's perfect. My thing is just the discipline, or whenever you let that get out of control, that's the thing. But that's food though. That's donuts.
It's gonna get out of control.
No, but you can't just say, because I mean, some people can eat just. Some
all
people
the dudes we know. Tell me a dude that we know that kept it in control.
I mean, look.
Tell me from the years we grew up. Tell me a dude that kept it in control. Tell me. Just tell me.
I mean, I don't know their names personally.
No, but do you know one dude that kept it in control?
I'm gonna say I know people all the time who keep it in control.
One dude.
Because
one dude that kept it in control.
Donuts are delicious. Nobody eats donuts for every meal. It's just like a vice, like any other one. Whether it's women or men.
A donut is not gonna put you on child support.
Yeah,
donuts can't get pregnant.
But donuts will.
Donuts
will give you heart disease, diabetes, stroke, and cancer. And that's down the exactly. But you choosing these people.
You don't have to deal with donuts for 18 years.
I do agree. Well, you could be dealing with the effects of donuts, but it's anything can be overindulged in. You need discipline in all aspects of your life.
But
it's not the thing that's wrong.
Discipline is not, if you mess with most people, it's not discipline at that point. You think it is. I'm telling you, I used to rationalize in my head. I thought I was disciplined. You messing with these, okay. When you 20, you think anything you think you do is discipline.
First of all, you don't know. First of all, you think, hey, ain't no limit in the amount of time, ain't no limit in the amount of you know what? Sex could be like money or currency. I'm trying to collect as much as I can from those mindsets, and you have to get out. No, I mean, of course, that's foolish.
You start realizing it's vanity, man.
Yeah. And
what I'm saying is, you'll spend so much time. Instead of thinking about flipping money or thinking about business stuff, you're thinking about the women that you're talking to. You're thinking about the next thing.
You're managing them instead of managing.
You're like an NFL coach on the sideline with a playbook with the chart. What am I doing next on the chart?
And you're managing.
And somebody say, "Hey man, you thought about investing money?" Nah, man, I'm looking at the chart. What am I doing? What's my next move on the chart?
Who's the depth chart? I got a 50-man, 5-man roster.
What am I doing on the chart?
But you think more about managing them than you managing your own business. But you got to think about the side effects.
The butt gonna get you in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're talking about. But you got to think about the side effects of saying completely no to the things that you actually want. 100%.
That's discipline.
100% saying cutting something out that's not necessarily bad for you per se.
Who says why you think it's not bad?
I mean, how do you think you get a wife? You it's courtship.
But that's not courtship.
It's the same thing.
Women. Dating and courtship is two different things.
I mean, how do you even think you get to that? Well, let's like you said, it's not a 5-minute conversation.
Yeah, so. It's not. Definitely not. That's why I'm telling you. And once again, we're not talking from a Disney. We're not talking from some Walt Disney store we saw. We're not talking from Netflix. We're talking from our own experiences.
I'm 25 with 5 baby mamas. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I'm telling you, young men, I'm telling you, man, you invest your time wisely, man. Don't get caught up in the
know
web,
yourself.
man.
Know yourself.
Another thing is the next topic is old versus young. I don't want to say versus, but the difference between old and young culture, like talking to an older person versus talking to you, is two totally different conversations. Even though you can talk about the same thing, but it may be different routes to get to that end point. You know what I'm saying? Like you talk to an older person about work, they'll tell you how it was back then. Kind of like Bill Cosby days.
Yeah.
Tell you how they had to walk to work uphill, with different kind of shoes on, with tapping dance shoes. I don't know, but they tell you some weird story. But
and state and union jobs were basically like being rich. If you can get a good factory job, or train, or work on like hard labor, you do this for 20 years, then you can retire. Like it's like you'd be rich when you retire. But actually, you really wouldn't be. You just live in a house and I don't know if it was the slavery thing or whether the just trying to live. It was so hard to live in the older times that really just making it and owning your house, just one house, and owning a car and being able to feed your kids every month, you know what I mean, was like that was the goal because it was so hard to live, period. They don't really, a lot of times don't talk about abundance, and you can see the ones who do, who see it like that, they own multiple properties and stuff like that. Right. It's two different kinds of old school mindsets. It's like new school. You start talking about them, but most of the time they talk about pension. You go in there, you put your stuff in, and you do this, and you youngsters are scared of hard work and stuff like that. Well, I can get an education, and I don't have to pick up a sledgehammer.
And this is another thing too. When I say old and young, it's like the ones that they get in abundance or they get that. They don't even share the information. They like hoard information. Yep. How'd you get that? Oh man, you gotta do this. You still wet behind the ears. And see, that's how they talk to each other back then. But they don't realize that could be discouraged into the next generation. You know what I'm saying?
100%. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to figure out, like, hey, you didn't go to, like I said, I know you didn't go to college. You know what I mean? And you're 60, 70 years old. You got a rent house over here, and you always had a house like this and this and that. And like they know different things about, I want to buy a property. They know different things about tax codes, foreclosures and stuff like this. And they. Basically, I don't have to have 100. You're telling me I don't have to have $100,000 to buy a house and then sell it for those prices that are right there. You're saying, hey man, you can get this for this. This neighborhood's like this. They're doing. Look, they're about to declare all this land rural development, so you'll be able to get a house like this. They're going to do it in 2 years, so you can buy the land now. Then once the rural development come, it'll be like this. Like, well, I don't even know what you're talking about. But you could have told somebody like that. Like, I got some money from an insurance, or I got and what kind of stuff like that? Like, you got to step in a hole, fall, lose your leg, then you'll know. Like, so you do have that.
And then, like I say, sometimes I think this happens more. A lot of people don't talk about it. It happens a lot. They try to project how they do things now versus when they was your age. It's almost like me telling my son, he's 5, to do something that I'm doing now, but he's only 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, or when he get to my age, I tell him he should be doing this, this, and this, and he's like, Dad, you 50 or whatever.
Everything was. It's like you want to take your experience, put them in a bubble, and then put them in there. Or matter of fact, take you from this time. Not realize the time completely changes. So it's like you taking me from the future, putting me in the past, and telling me I should do what you did in the past. But now we in the future, and stuff is different. Right. You know what I mean? Some stuff is always gonna work. Like he always says, hard work, skills, education, those things, increasing your worth and what you can actually do and provide. Those are just universal truths. That's going to be the same. You can put them anywhere in time, and that's going to work out.
Like example, a lot of old dudes just tell you, like, hey man, if you get on with the state, man, it's benefits, man, it's great, man, you'll be good. And then you go there, you start looking at the salary, it's like, what does this dude be good for? What is this dude talking about?
And guess what? And maybe 20 years ago, maybe 50 years ago, it was a lot different. Yeah,
exactly.
You know what I mean? But like when you can get a 2,000 square foot house for 50 or 70,000. I mean, I only need, you know what I mean? Like, I'm making 50 grand a year. I can get a 2,000 square foot house for 70 grand.
Right.
So I mean,
so
look
pretty
at
much, it's like Magic Johnson telling you to get the ball, bag down in the post, and shoot when everybody's shooting threes now. Like the game has changed. Like
or taking Steph Curry back to play against the bad boy Pistons.
He'll look at him like, why are you shooting all these threes for, dude? For what?
Or he gotta wear a rib protector because he got so many broken ribs out there.
Boy,
they gonna make him feel it every time because they finna run from the free throw line or from the paint full speed. And as soon as he go up, they put the elbow in his chest. How many times you gonna be able to focus on your shot when they shooting like that?
And the community mindset. Different communities got different mindsets. Whether we want to sit here and believe it or not, debate.
And this not a racist thing like that. No. And it goes to the thing like you talking about old school people, and we're talking about like maybe say white and black, whatever. But if we're trying to help the community, like okay, look, if I know how to buy houses, right? But I'm not telling you like we were saying the old school dude he own. Right. You don't tell me that's cool. But then maybe somebody from another culture, they come over there and they know how to open up a store in the area. Then they tell another person from that same culture how to open up another store. And now you're mad because their culture owns all the liquor store or all these stores or the corner stores or gas stations. But you wouldn't even tell him how to. Look, it wouldn't be you. It wouldn't be your family, but it would be your culture that owns every house. Right. In this subdivisions in this area or this and that. But you said, I'm just going to know. So you own this one. Todd them on that one. Right. Jeffrey them on that one. And now it's like this and that. But their culture says, hey, I don't know you. Like our family might not be connected, but we like this. Well, we can get connected once we own all these stores or these businesses. Right. And that, but I don't know if that's where you was going with the different cultures.
That's one aspect too. Another aspect is this is one thing that it just tears me up, man. A lot of times you hear an older person say, oh man, these young folks, man, they don't do nothing constructive, man. They're always getting into trouble. They always doing this, doing that. But then that same young person come to your yard and say, hey man, can I cut your grass? I only charge you $40. $40? I can't pay $40. Like, what do you want these kids to do, man?
And it's a young man trying to do something. Yeah. And I'm sorry, like, you know what I mean? Like, and you maybe should, like, if you got it, and I understand if you live in, like, we don't know your situation, live in check that, you should give them another 10 just because you see somebody of your culture trying to do it. So you wanted 40, I'm gonna give you 50. Thank you, come by. You know what I mean? Build rapport, and I'm gonna give you a couple referrals. That's what it should be happening.
But I had to realize this too, like with this community mindset thing, right? If you look at these websites like Real Estate or Zillow or something, it tell you like the median income, and in Southwest or and on that side of that whole side of Markham from University all the way back, the median income may not be that great. Cause I tried to cut grass one time. I tried to do cameras. I couldn't even do it because the neighborhood could not support that. Yeah, I had to realize that. I didn't even think about that till after I was doing it.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Having security cameras is a luxury in some areas. Yeah. It's not a necessity. It's a luxury. And I was trying to sell it to my own people, but I was like, I hear what you're saying. It sounds good, but
and it's a good price.
I can't afford to pay what you're asking. And I had to realize that, like, that is just it. And my wife said, like, the support, you're doing something great, but the support, the people is just not there. And that's the mindset, saying, like, you think about gas stations and food places in Southwest, right? It ain't no high-end stuff. It's a bunch of fast food restaurants.
It's a steakhouse
and
out
that's
there?
The mindset. Rallies, McDonald's, churches, Sharks.
I don't have didn't churches burn down? I need to get some churches.
No, that was Sims.
Oh, Sims, yeah.
Even with Sims.
I think that was, I ain't going to speak on it.
Had a bad attitude, man. It was a woman that worked there, had a bad attitude, man. Good God. But people still went there because
you got the food barbecue place.
Yeah. It was on the barbecue place, really, that you could go to. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you hate to see you come in.
It's just all fast food, right? What's sit down restaurant in Southwest? It ain't really none no more. You know what I'm saying? And if it is, it's probably some place that ain't where you probably don't want to eat it. You know what I'm saying? Like Arby's or something. Like it's a fast food
you just got
restaurant.
Arby's to sit down.
That's the only place that kind of guy like sit down where you can sit down like Taco Bell and stuff.
Who said this real meat? You know
the
what?
Fast food restaurant is dine-ins, man. Like we don't have no, what I'm trying to say. Davis Burgers over there by the outlet mall. That's way out there.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying?
Not a Saltgrass out there.
Yeah, but they're in the Southwest. I don't know if that's considered Southwest. That's on the other side of the freeway, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we just got gas. And then with the stuff they sell in the gas station, they're only going to sell what people buy in the area. Mm-hmm. They're not going to sell, egg salad sandwiches at Exxon.
I mean, would you eat egg salad sandwich from a gas station or sushi?
No.
You got this California roll for your brother.
But they got Chico Hibachi on Chico. I would eat there, but it
really doesn't take much to make hibachi. I mean,
but that's the last one I think about hibachi is on Chico Road. Though. I don't know. Maybe that's me. I don't know. That's the last one I think about getting hibachi is on Chico Road. But I'm saying the mindset is crazy though. Like we have to change our mindset.
I think I'm gonna sell gourmet hot dogs.
It'll probably do. It's a restaurant downtown. It's a couple of them. I know one is not finished yet, but over there where the Wood Grill place is, it's like in a little slither of a little place. It's a hot dog place.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they do they put chopped beef on top of it and everything. You'll love it. They got chili dogs, man.
Oh man, I got a motorboat there.
You can make the John Petty special chili dog with the Boilermaker, man.
I know,
make that, man.
What?
So our next topic is does the environment have an effect on a young person coming up, trying to shape his mind and his mindset and thoughts and perceptions? And I
100% agree with that, and I think I don't like to use the same old nonsense. Like when people say peer pressure, they look at it a certain way as like young people, but everybody wants to be accepted, whether it's the peer pressure at work or the fit in the culture, even whether we're all wearing suits and we're all doing this like that, and we all try to rise in our little hierarchy. We want to get up there, and it might not even be a popularity thing. It might be a power thing. It might be a survival thing, and you start to do that. Like, let's say you like to wear khaki shorts, but like if creased jeans are in, you're going to start, rolling your style to that. Like you wear dress shoes, you know what I mean? But everybody else wear tennis shoes with khakis and stuff like that. Right. You're just going to eventually kind of fall into that because that's the style. That might not be the style in New York, but that's what we're doing here in Arkansas, you know what I mean? But if you come from Arkansas, you go to New York, you're going to start wearing Timbs, you know what I mean? Or something like that. You're just going to phase that in. Or honestly, we have a way to make things normal, you know what I mean? So that's where like a lot of bullying and making fun of people, you know what I mean? We'll push you into social norms. Like if you don't take baths, we're going to make fun of you because you musty. And then once you get yourself together, we'll stop making fun of you about being musty. Yeah. And it just works like that. You're wearing weird stuff or you're getting weird haircuts. People are going to kind of nudge you and point out that you're different until you kind of go in there. You might get their haircut less often or whatever, but I feel like that does happen and people kind of assimilate into their environment. I don't know if it's a protection mechanism. I don't even think it's like a sheep following thing. It's a protection mechanism. When you stand out to predators, you don't want to stand out. You don't want to be it's a bunch of white sheep and you the black sheep. Makes you a target amongst the sheep and amongst the predators. Right. So it's very normal to try to assimilate into the environment that you're in. So right. I do believe the environment that a person is in or grew up in or is put around will change you. Like you'll be a gangster if you need to be a gangster to survive. You got to be affiliated with a gang to survive in school. You're going to join a gang because you cannot fight by yourself all the time. Right. You're not a fighter. You're not a gang member. But in the school I'm being put in the projects in a bad neighborhood. I need to join a gang to survive. So right. You're going to assimilate into the culture.
And that's what I was just about to say. Like, I don't know. I know parents, they do the best they can do. And I don't have no problem with that. But, not even a but, just, I say, however, you, as a parent, I don't know, you have to think about, like, if your kid goes to a school that's in the inner city, lives in the projects, ride the school bus, and who he sees every day, that if he's surrounded by that box, what do you expect? What are your expectations for him when he get older? If he see thugs or gangsters or something like that in the hood, and see dudes, say doing their thing or whatever, hustling, and he goes to school where it's not conducive to be academically smart and stuff like that. Living in the projects where the thing about, I don't know, I guess you really don't have a choice. I guess that's all you can afford. But not only do you see your situation, but you see other situations simultaneously happen at the same time. You see your household, you see your friend's household, which may be crazy. You see another household that may be crazy. And then across the way, you may see a couple that's trying to make it, and they going through their ups and downs, but they outside throwing hands, knock down, drag out, fight. You seeing all of this. I mean, you can be coming home, getting out the car, and can turn your head and can see the knock down, drag out fight, the dude over here hustling, and then the dude just sitting out, doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? You can see all of that, and if you see that day by day, it will have an effect on you. People think, oh no, this. Man, you crazy. Yeah. But see, most times older people, they not already live, so they got enough sense to say, that's just so-and-so and that's just so-and-so. I ain't worried about that. But when you 13, 14, you have to understand how kids process information different, what I'm saying, than adults do. Because you're not at that point of awareness yet to process.
And they put all that stuff in their mental toolbox. You know what I mean? So if they deal with the relationship problem, let me dip and see what Tim did, the knockdown drag out.
Yeah.
That didn't work. Let me see what Mama did. That was more, thing like that. So they'll use these things that they've observed.
Right.
And the other thing can go another way too. Like you teach your kid the right thing, but you could be putting your kid in an unnecessary fight. So like they're going to school. It's a lot of gangs. Academics aren't really, smiled upon. Right. So you send your kid. You have him dressed respectable, tuck in his shirt. Nice button down, things like that. He's smart, you know what I mean? He's well spoken. Okay, you train him not to fight, but you're putting him in a situation where he looks completely different, he acts different, he sounds different. You are raising a fighter because for him to keep the same attitude about his studies,
right,
his speech, and his dress, he's going to conflict with others.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're putting without just being who he is.
Right.
Is going to put him in conflict. Whether people are insecure, whether people are jealous, or whether he's just different and it's easy to roast him.
Right.
Now he's developed. Now he got a little quick comeback. So now he got to fight.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So if he doesn't start to assimilate in there naturally, to stand against the crowd or just to be yourself and stand means you have to fight. So you're raising a fighter, even though the more you tell him to be himself, the more you're making, him
not
fight.
Everybody built to be isolated, man. That's
and you're putting
easy,
you're isolated. Even though you're telling him the right thing to do, but you're putting him in an environment. Boy. You're surrounding him. You're making him a red ant,
right?
Which what you want to be a red ant, but you're putting him in the midst of black ants.
Boy,
there's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Guess what? Y'all the same ants. Your color is different.
Right.
And it's the same thing. If you put somebody if you're going to have issues if you put them in a still debating on this with my son whether to put him in a private school with richer people. Okay, now we can afford to get him into school, but we had a doctor worked at my job. He got his daughter like a bag. I think she had like a little purse. It was maybe the bag was like, the purse was like maybe 2 years behind, like 2 seasons behind, like the spring collection. It was still like $1,000. He sent his daughter to school. He said, we're talking about maybe junior high.
Yeah.
She said the girls were making fun of me because my bag was old. He paid $1,000 for a purse.
Right.
And they made fun of her because it was old. Boy. It was from 2 seasons ago.
Boy.
So you're going to have to you're going to have to navigate against, peer pressure and criticism and things like that. Whether it's fighting or whether it's gangs or whether it's maybe more financial bullying. She's being bullied financially. Now, her dad is a doctor and they can afford it, but still paying $3,000 or $5,000 for a purse for your child so they don't fit in at school is a different problem. So there's going to be problems either way when you put somebody in there. So you got to deal with whatever issues, whether it's a low-income school, whether it's a high-income school. Parenting is going to be hard, and your environment is going to definitely affect you. because you're going to want to blend in. But when it costs $2,000 to blend in, like you pay for uniforms, you pay $1,000 a semester to get this kid into school, and my kid's being bullied for being poor, and they're like, man, I make X amount of money just because my kid's shoes wasn't $1,500.
Right.
I'm not sending a little girl to school in red bottoms.
Right.
I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? But then now you have to deal with the scrutiny of that, putting your kid, around rich. It's different type of bullying. So.
Right. And another thing is understanding. I think they call it code switching, I guess, but.
Yeah.
When you go into the corporate world,
podcast, listen to the Thinking
stuff
Game, episode 3.
The street rules and corporate world rules, they're like opposite, but there are some similar things.
There are some similarities.
And some people use the corporate shield, the corporate world, to disrespect you because they know you want your job. Mm-hmm. And you have to have the endurance and the skin to say, I know if I saw this dude outside, he wouldn't do this.
He would not.
He's doing this only because we're here within this corporate box.
Same thing in the game world. When somebody weak, but they're an OG, they put in their work, they've done their thing, and they got X amount of people behind them, they wouldn't ever disrespect you when it was one-on-one.
Right.
But when they're sitting on that chair, when they got them stripes behind their name, they're going to say this and that, or they might give you an order or say do this or do that, or talk to you outside of the neck, but they know they got that pistol on them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna fall in line right now, but yeah, we know why you talk. We know why you're talking tough.
And I had to realize this though. Walking away, man. Just you know what? I'll be whatever, man. It ain't worth me doing, because a lot of times what kids don't realize, I had to realize this going older. You can do something, it can open up Pandora's box to something that you didn't even know was inside of you. You can severely hurt somebody, and that might incite something in you to be like, oh, I like doing this.
Ooh, boy.
I really like breaking people on. I like doing it.
It's a different feeling.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I mean, if you've ever had a person submit under your own strength, it's a different thing. And some people are intoxicated by that type of feeling. So
just using a gun, boom, shooting at somebody, just watching the fear. Man, I like the way I like the way they.
And see, this is a thing that people don't realize. Some people like robbing people for the fear they put in people. They just want to pull the gun and they want to see you scared. They want to feel that power.
That's true.
But some people don't get scared when you pull a gun on them.
Don't.
And they're going to make you shoot them.
Right.
And now you're a killer.
And then if
you just wanted the 3.
And if you don't, some people, if you don't do nothing, they're going to come back and get you. They're going to come back and get you.
So you were just doing it for the thrill of scaring people. Yeah. But they was like, nah, if you're going to shoot, you're going to have to shoot me. And then now it's like, I don't want to be a killer. You kill somebody and now you can't sleep at night.
Exactly.
And now, some people, killing people is very, it does something to you, mentally and emotionally. So some people can't deal with it. Some people are cold-blooded. We see them all the time. They go to jail, But some people, it really bothers them. You know what I mean?
All right. And we're going to round it out with this one. Living in Little Rock, Arkansas as an adult. What are some of the things that youth are not aware of when transitioning to adulthood? Like, what are some of the things they not... I know I wasn't privy to is, enduring through adversity as an adult. When you become an adult, adversity comes at you in all different ways. And you have to endure. You cannot stop at one specific thing because more is coming. So you have to endure. Like, you get the car fixed and now the dry go out. You get the dry fixed. Now you got a water leak. You fix the water leak. Now something happened out in the garage.
I don't even know if I'm negative right now. I just feel like, I feel so reversed. I feel like the good times are in the season. You know how they say, well, some seasons are bad. Yeah. No, I just feel like the good season is the one that come around occasionally. Occasionally, you're going to have good times. Yeah. And then basically that's how much adversity really comes. Yeah. I promise, man, when you become an adult, it's rarely you're going to be thriving or living or operating on plan A.
Right.
I promise. Most of the time when you hit success on anything, you're probably it's probably plan C.
Right.
Like most of the time, even if when I was in college, when I'm getting an assignment done, it's probably was playing, because I had a goal when I started the class.
Right.
I looked at the syllabus. Somebody tripping, somebody called in, usually playing B or C. I promise. Sometimes it's EF.
Right.
But you're gonna you're gonna find your average it's gonna be plan C. You've had to adjust to some issue.
Yes.
Every time when you buy a car, you know what I mean. You got your credit straight. You're gonna prepare and preemptive some of the adversity, and then it's gonna be another thing. So it just becomes really natural, not to be negative, but it's just gonna be different things that are just going to happen, and that's the best way. That's the best analogy that I can use.
If you think that everything about you is positive, you are selling yourself a dream, and good luck on that. That's another thing about adversity. Is when you make a mistake, because you keep living. I'm not saying you're going to do it on purpose. It's just, sometimes things just happen. It's just, just like that. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that. Oh, I shouldn't have did that. It can happen just like that, because if you try to live like, I can't say this, now you're going to be walking on eggshells. That's even worse. But then when you make a mistake, you got to be able to endure. Yeah, you're right. You might explode. You got to be able to endure your mistakes and be able to, because everybody don't understand how you're wired.
Yeah, and it's not.
Everybody's not gonna study you.
It's not their job either.
Exactly, it's not their job. That's why you have to endure stuff that you go through. And I know for us growing up in Southwest, you didn't really see dudes be sensitive or nothing like that. That's almost like you have to be taught that. Like if you didn't see that, you're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like you say, dudes be looking at you like, man, you an R&B dude now or something? What you think, you rap trash, man?
Yeah, I know, right?
I need a man with sensitivity. Oh. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't show stuff like that, man. Look at you like you're crazy, man. You know what I'm saying?
And another thing, too, like, it's your responsibility to know yourself and to set those boundaries on how I need to be treated. You know what I mean? And don't paint yourself into those corners. It's going to blow your mind how so many perfect storms against you happen. Like, how did my car go flat just as the police is driving by and my insurance just termed out the day before, like legit, like one day after, and the police would have never stopped if I didn't get a flat right there at the substation. Right. So many random things that it just perfect storm of BS are just gonna hit you like the same day. All of it's gonna happen at the same day. Exactly. You can go easy on yourself in these relationships, bro. No matter how smart you are or good a communicator you think you are, in every relationship, I promise something is going to go wrong. So almost count on it. Don't be negative. Yeah. Just kind of like maybe look at the red flags. You ain't got to just bail on the red flag. Look at them, observe them, see the stuff kind of coming. And it's still, even doing that, it's still going to hit you. A lot of stuff is still going to blindside you. There's going to be problems in your relationship, no matter how pretty, no matter how smart, no matter how, whatever it is, he or she may be, you're going to have an issue. Y'all are going to argue. Y'all are going to have a problem.
And a lot of times.
And don't beat yourself up. Don't try to commit suicide. Don't do whatever. Some stuff, if it's not your fault, accept it's not your fault. It's on them. If it is your fault, hey, nobody's perfect. You're only human. You'll try better next time. Do not get stuck on this stuff because these mistakes are going to happen. I'm not saying eventually. No, they are going to happen. It's certain that there's going to be a big issue. Like something's going to go wrong with your car. It's gonna be some drama at your job. These are things like, honestly, the longer you go without it, the bigger the blow up is gonna be.
And then another thing too to understand, especially about a relationship, if you don't know about yourself first and understand about yourself, it's just gonna be tough dealing with another person, living with another person. Every personality is tailored for certain things, right? Not you per se, your personality. Certain personalities are prone to make certain mistakes, and certain personalities are prone to do good things for that personality. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you got to understand. A lot of people deal with people and they don't understand who they with. They just getting with them just cause. I don't know, but
there's so many sides to compatibility
like if a person
and stuff like that.
Make a mistake, and you just shoving it down their throat, and then when you make a mistake, you don't want them to do that. You want them to take it light on you. Come on now. Be for real.
How that work?
You know what I'm saying? And you have to understand that the relationship that you're in, whether it's friend, spouse, or whatever, you're in different stages of your life. You met this person when you was in your 20s. Y'all 30 now. You know what I'm saying? But some people have weird expectations, man. And you got to be realistic, man. They got realistic expectations, man.
And then stuff comes from communication. Let me know your expectations so I won't be lost. And when you expect me to be something, exactly, because sometimes, like you said, they don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's so much, like you say, you
don't
know.
If you know, now you got to be accountable. You told me the expectations. Now let's be.
And if you can't meet those, be like, this is impossible. I'm not gonna change my gender to be in a relationship with you. That's just too far. I can't do all this these things, to make you happy.
Then our second subtopic is dealing with the world as a whole. And then when you get out of high school, you are now dealing with the world. You ain't dealing with just high school no more. You dealing with the world now. You dealing with utility companies. You dealing with mortgage company. If you get a house, apartment complex, they don't care nothing about what you got going on. Yeah. Which you would tell your apartment manager, man, I can't pay the rent this time, man. Man, I had to get my car fixed. Dude, if you don't have this rent by the 15th, I'm going to give you this nice piece of paper called an eviction notice. It's your choice. Your car went out, that don't mean nothing to me. I don't got nothing to do with it.
Or guess what? Guess what your apartment did? They took too much rent when they were just supposed to take one.
Yeah.
And now, we'll put the credit on your account. You can't get my money back?
No.
We'll just put the credit on your account, and we'll give you a $50 credit added on to that. You're supposed to be $1,000, you took $2,000. I get other bills coming out of here. You know how many overdraft fees I'm gonna get on? I'm sorry. That's just a policy. We don't give refunds, but we weren't going to take your money. We're going to give you a credit for next month's rent. Right. Yeah, I have next month's rent next month, but you know what I mean? This and like, how do you deal with it? But another thing I take from seeing the world as a whole, your hometown or wherever you're from, your family is very important. And sometimes it's hard to succeed in your home with relationships. Sometimes it's hard to succeed in your city, but there's so far you can fall when you're dealing with the whole world. You know what I mean? Right. Or even trying to win in your own bubble is hard. But now you have this whole bubble to try to win in. But you got to see it as an opportunity because that's how high you can go.
Right.
The world, you can have all of this. I hate to be one of those people that say you can do anything, but yeah, you can be some dude from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and end up being a CEO or whatever the situation is because they're not limiting you. Nobody's limiting you on anything. It's the world. You know what I mean? You can decide to be a doctor. It might take you 20 years, or it might you might figure out that you're really good at something. You know what I mean? But you can really be anything. There's nothing saying, hey, you're green, you're black, you're white, you're blue, so you can't do this. Now there are going to be adversities in everything, but really, you're dealing with the world right now.
Right.
But just as high as you can go, just as high as you can fall. You know what I mean? Because you can get on the wrong dope, you can be homeless and stuff like that. But the sky's the limit. I think if you look at the possibilities that you can actually achieve and the things that you can do with steps, a process, and a plan, and that's really what the podcast is all about. Don't let it be intimidating. Don't look at like, oh man, I can fall down this cliff, but look how far you can fly.
Right.
And guess what? Sometimes they may not even be flying. It's climbing. You know what I mean? Because you're getting up there. There's different levels. There's a whole bunch of... Don't be discouraged when you see the amount of rich people. Just be like, I can be in that club. You know what I mean? Of doctors, of lawyers, of professionals, of this, of that. You know what I mean? You can create something new, or you can just fall in line. You know what I mean? Of just be a bunch of people that's making 6 figures and clocking into a job. If you pick the right skills, research, figure out what you want. Even if you figure out something you can do.
And then another thing is, we could do a whole podcast on this too, but understanding as you're young, you understand the gray area that everybody knows about it, but don't nobody talk about it. Like young versus old. If a young person don't understand how things work, an older person could take advantage of them. Like, yeah, man, come work for me, man. I got you, man. I take care of you. You work for this dude for a month. He ain't paid you nothing.
I know people.
And he looking at you like you crazy. Man, I bought you lunch, didn't I? I picked you up there. That cost gas money, didn't it? So what you talking about me paying you for?
Yeah, like you ate lunch every day, man. You the one said you want
the large. $10.
You the one said you want the large.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I supersized it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, man, this and that.
And this dude's taking advantage of you. It is crazy because you trying to respect your elders, but
he writing it off the whole time.
He's taking advantage of you respecting him as an elder because you're older than him, but he's taking advantage of you. And now dealing with the word, it's like, do I just say, no, I'm good. I'm not finna let you take advantage of me, man. I'm done. Or do you just keep letting this dude take it because you don't want to call him out because he's going to say you being disrespectful now. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of stuff that a lot of kids don't really get. Like when they get out into the world, man, these people in high school and kids, they doing their job. They're trying to get you through high school. They're trying to be nice to you. But in the real world, ain't no behavior plans. Ain't no...
I think that's what we talked about with the school. Like I say, your college professors see you sometimes equal, or you talk to them as a person. Versus, you talk to them as a person versus your teachers are just ordering you to do stuff, but they're helping you and protecting you because they're training you almost like you are a pet or an animal at the zoo because they're here not only to teach you but to take care of you. But in the world, like your boss don't have no moral obligation.
None.
To you, they can lie to you. Like really, they can lie. I mean, to do
your job's safe. Your job's safe.
You know what I mean?
Michael, can you come to the office, please?
And they can do different things like this to kind of say stuff that they really didn't say, but they really leaning on it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And things like that, and they can do that. You lose that. They don't control you as much out of high school, but they don't protect you at all after high school. See, some of that control that your teachers, counselors, and parents have have over you in high school is also a protection.
Right. It's a covering, yeah.
You know what I mean? But now they take the covering off and they also take that control off.
They will control you in the corporate world, but there ain't gonna be no good control.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it's a different type of thing, and you have to. They'll hire 5 people in here, and for some reason they'll pay you $5 less an hour.
Exactly.
Why? Why did they do that to you? For some reason, we forgot, and we not gonna change it.
And then,
this is significant to my life.
And dealing with the world, that's what you have to understand too. Being objective, when you can look at the numbers and you can get your answer from looking at the numbers without having them to tell you that. Some people, they want the company to tell them that they're not diverse. They want them to tell them, I paid you less than them because you this. Instead of just looking at the numbers. The numbers are right there in your face.
They have policies in place. Nobody talks about your salary, we're gonna fire you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, who is that for? Who does that protect? Who does that help?
Right, exactly. And then, like I said, some people just want to hear the answer. Instead of the answers right there in front of their face, they want to hear the answer. You know,
it's not fair. It's not right.
No,
but that's
how the world works. The world is not fair, and you have to learn how to operate in an unfair place.
Yeah, and sometimes you become the shark, you become the savage, you become the same person that's screwing over people or your workers. Yeah. Now you own the business. Now you seeing what your landscaping boss was doing to these folks and why he was doing it, why he was gouging people, why he was doing this, why he was taking X amount of things like that, why he was counting every hour, and now you become the predator.
Like Training Day.
Yeah. I thought he was your friend, man.
Man, I thought that was your friend. Why is he my friend? Because he stole my first name? Roger
Just said, but man, I thought you said your son and his son went to school together.
Man, that was... he rationalized Roger. He told... You think he gonna let me walk out of there with $250,000, man? Dude would have killed me, man. Oh man, that goes under that part. That happens in real life though. People don't realize that happens in real life.
And it might happen to you emotionally, within a job with a Fortune 5 company, a position that somebody else get. Like, why did you take her position? She told you the job was gonna be opening up, and then she was going for it, and didn't nobody else know about it. But you went and put your application in, and this and that, and you the one told that she was late. So now she got a mark on her thing, so she's not really up for promotion. You the only other person who knew about the job. You did that to her, and that person was supposed to be your friend. Right. But do I got the job?
Right.
Do I make an extra $20,000 a year? And am I in management? Where she at?
Right, exactly.
And it's like, I thought y'all was cool. Nah, my family cool. That's who I care about.
Exactly.
I don't care about Sasha. Who is Sasha? Sasha, y'all had lunch together every day. Why is she? I can't believe you did her like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, man, you know what I mean?
Some people like that's how the word is. Some people like that. They'll laugh and
you
joke
took
with
her
you.
parking.
The next thing is this probably be the last thing around out this thing is the difference between fast success and building success. Maintaining or not knowing how to maintain because it's coming too fast. What I mean by that is, if you 17, 18 years old and you making 60 grand a year, you don't. I know I wouldn't have known how to manage that. I would have.
Or appreciate it. I would think that was normal. So I'm gonna get another 60 grand next year.
Man, every Jordan that come out. Matter of fact, I'm probably gonna have them before everybody in the mall. While everybody waiting in the mall at the line, I'm walking in with them on already.
Real talk,
I hope y'all get these.
Real talk, I'm making 60 grand and I'm staying with my mom.
You think so?
Yeah.
My personality, then I wouldn't.
No. But you gotta think. Even if I wasn't staying with her, I'm like buying her food for her to cook. She's still cooking for her.
That.
Like, and then I'd probably be over there because I'm 17. Now, when I'm 22, that's totally different. And honestly, with 60 grand, I probably got my own place to kick it. But I'm gonna be at my mama's house because that's a 17-year-old mindset.
But that's what I'm saying.
You gonna have a car,
but
you ain't gonna have no property.
I would have never been there.
Yeah. But like,
I would have got some crazy car. I would have never.
Yeah, but like that's another thing too. Like, you would own a car that costs more than a house that you live in because you don't even have a house because you're a kid and you're like, man, I'm just going to my mama's house.
I don't gotta pay. Yeah, I don't gotta expense. I gotta buy a house. Yeah.
Like, why would I even be paying rent? Like, why pay rent when I can just go to my mama's house?
Yeah.
And you're like pocketing $60,000, no rent, no bill. Like, you still not trying to pay your mom light bill. Like, well, I gotta pay bills.
Another thing people don't realize is you see a lot of times these documentaries and stuff. You go to NFL and stuff. Somebody give you $1 million. It's not just $1 million unless you got a financial advisor or an accountant that tell you about the tax code. $1 million. If somebody says here $1 million, that's $300,000 gone. Just like that.
It's probably close to 5.
No, it's about 3 unless they went up. It's like 30%.
Oh no.
30%.
49.
When they go to 49?
It's stupid high.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
They broke down.
I know Boosie took home Vlad if he did a show when he was like a meal, he only bringing home $700.
But like I said, I think what's his name was talking about, and that's after he get his stuff, and he probably had his stuff set up because they was doing NFL. They were saying like how much I'm actually getting from like this. Like, well, you just got a $1 million bonus or whatever, and they were like, he was like, well, I put this much, that half is like going to like Uncle Sam, and then this and that, then it be like, and that's only like that. You know what I mean? Like, I got mama house, boom, I'm broke. Yeah. Like immediately off that, like that bonus ate up like that. It was stupid. Now I made like, of course, like, don't get me wrong these percentages and things like that. But let's go say anywhere between 50 and 30.
How old was I when I got on at the ISP place? How old was I? When I got that contractor job, I was working at the airport. Mm-hmm. I probably was making $30,000. What, 24, 25 probably. It did. I got on at the ISP place as a contractor. And I was making double that. It was like $60-some thousand. Mm-hmm. I didn't blow it, but we paid for a lot of stuff, like bills and stuff. Yeah. But man, I thought we was rich, man. I'm talking, we was paying our bills and we had money left over, like plenty of money left over. And that was at 60 grand. I was like, man, this is crazy. And
like I said, honestly, man.
But I didn't have
to have that peace of mind, whether it's only for 6 months or a year, just to even believe. Let me tell you
how crazy it was. When we had had our daughter, right? They sent the bill and said, "Oh yeah, y'all owe like, I think it was like $1,200 or something like that." We didn't pay for that in 1 second. Still had money left over. Yeah. We just dropped it. We was like, "Here, there you go." I might go laugh with you, and she gonna say, "Yeah, we did." Man, we laugh about it because we was like, "Man, that was awesome." And like I said, we didn't even really blow through. We just took care of business. Yeah. But then, like I said, they started going through the layoffs and stuff. That's when things changed. But
I even live making that kind of money like that. You know what I mean?
I would have been no good, bro.
I don't know if they don't get me at some point. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't have been no good, bro. And I already had the car with the rims too.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna even speculate on what kind of stuff that would have been going on.
But yeah, maintaining success. the money coming at you fast, you're not ready for it, man. You're going to blow through a lot of that, though, until you realize, like, wait a minute, what am I really doing here, man? What am I doing with this money, man?
Yeah, I mean,
that's why I always look at different things, so when the money comes like that, I can invest and do other things, because...
And you have to get your emotions out of money and emotion. People don't think that they do that, but man, you can be stressed and you can start doing emotional spending, different things to replenish yourself, and that's not the way. You probably need to go to therapy.
I'm a nerd. You do nerd spending. Be buying stuff on Amazon. Amazon is addictive, man. You got to be careful with Amazon. Exactly.
Bro. I mean, you can get anything you can think of on a whim. Most of the time, you have to go to the store so you can think about not doing it. Man, I got this one. I got one. It's one click. I don't even have to put in. Yeah, no, I get in there and once that little swipe go by, it's a done deal. It'll be in house in 2 days. Matter of fact, some stuff is next day, and it's some of the most exotic, some of the stuff that you can even really think of that I'm like, oh, I did want that when I was 12. Now I got it. So you get all this kind of stuff that it's a lot of ways to spend money. So when a lot of people talk about slow money, it's like, well, when you gain the knowledge and the money at a similar pace, it kind of makes it a little bit more steady. And you associate the struggle and the work that you had to do to get the money. So you don't really want to lose it because all the stuff that you had to do. So sometimes when that struggle's not attached, or that work or the education's not attached to it, I didn't really have to do too much to get it. So it's going to come back around with the same amount of effort because I didn't put much effort in there. You know what I mean? But when you put a lot of effort to get it, you are really subject to lose. And I hate that that's true. Because I don't want to do a lot to get the money I get. But it really make you spend it fast. You know what I mean? $4,000.
We're going to wrap it up, man. Hopefully next time y'all see us, we're going to be in the studio, man. We're working on it, man. And comment, man. Let us know what y'all think about the podcast. Let us know. And we got to get ready to sign out this thing, man. I don't know about him, but I'm ready to go to bed too, man.
Boy, I've been on
down.
It's hour 16.
But all right, guys. Thanks for watching. We signing out. Another episode out the way. Thanks for watching, and we out.
Like and subscribe.